I mean, throwing a no-hitter, just describe that feeling.
It was something else. I really didn't expect it, so it was really fun. I had a lot of support from family members there, so it was a great experience.
You talk about you didn't expect it. At what point did you realize, you had a shot at it?
I think coming into about the 7th inning, I realized that, hey, I need a few more outs, and I could really do this. So,
have you ever thrown one before?
I have thrown a few in Little League, but nothing real, nothing like college or high school, nothing important. So,
how were you kind of feeling late in the game when you realized that it was a possibility?
I wanted to try to curb my thoughts and my anxieties, or try not to put it in too much perspective, taking one batter at a time, going right after the next guy, trying to think about the next pitch.
And then just what was that feeling kind of once you do it and everybody's kind of celebrating with you at the end there?
I can't describe the feeling. I've never felt anything like that before. To have everyone looking at you, clapping, all happy for you. They were super happy for me, so it was fun.
Is there just a sense of relief at the end because you just kind of dropped your glove and waited for everybody to come and tackle you?
That's the easiest way I could explain it. It was relief, because people are saying, like, why didn't you throw your glove up in the air or jump up and down? And I said, it just felt like a couple 100 pounds lifted off my shoulders after I struck that last guy out. So it's pretty satisfying.
How'd you feel pregame bullpen? Did you have any sense that your stuff was really on early?
My fastball I thought was going to be not that great that day, so I was really focusing on my slider. I sat down and threw with that a lot, and then my slider started moving a ton, and it was really effective and it looked good. So I was like, hey, I'll use it. I'll use my strengths. My changeup worked really well. It was really dying off the table, and my fastball ended up being there, but I just didn't feel good earlier in the day, but it came together.
Do you think that extra day, because with weather delays and stuff in Eugene, helps with your performance?
I do believe that helped with my performance, because I was supposed to pitch Friday with that doubleheader, and I just wasn't feeling it because I threw a bullpen 2 days before, and I got my shoulder and my elbow worked on just to see if I could do it by Friday, and I decided to switch with Cody, and it worked out for the best.
Are you a superstitious guy? Like a lot of people say, don't talk about the no-hitter until it's over.
Well, I'm not that superstitious, but I know most of the guys on the team are. So I noticed no one was moving from their spots, no one was talking to me, no one was telling me anything. They were just going right back to their spots, and it was really funny. And our head coach's youngest son, Jake Lease, our bat boy, he came up to me in the 7th inning and told me that he's like, Scotty, I'm you know what's exciting? I was like, what, Jake? And he said, we have 8 hits and they have 0. I was like, thanks, Jake. Kind of broke a cardinal rule right there, but then he knocked on wood and said, I don't want to jinx it, I'm sorry, and ran away. So that's all that.
The knocking on wood worked.
Yes.
The fact that no one has done this, solo since 1976. I mean, you've had a couple of days. Has that sunk in that you did something that's taken that long to do?
I don't know if it's fully sunk in yet. I mean, I'm excited about it. It was a pretty cool 6-hour bus ride back, we'll say that. It was pretty exciting looking at the history books for that, so yeah.
As far as going forward, do you feel like this kind of gives you momentum heading into the rest of your season here?
Absolutely, because every time I've started, I've gained more innings and I've gotten more used to starting, and I'm starting to enjoy it now. I used to be a bullpen guy, so this is pretty fun. I like where it's going.
Did you get a sense it went quickly at all? Because, I mean, you walked 2, you hit 2, you still only threw 95 pitches. Almost didn't break a sweat out there.
There were some innings where I stood on the field after the 3rd out because I didn't realize I got guys out that quick. They were aggressive, so it really helped.
Yeah, Scotty, going into this season, kind of pitching in general and starting pitching was, I know something Marty talked about as kind of a group that needed to step up.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of how have you taken that as maybe a leader this year and kind of just stepping up yourself and also kind of helping get the younger guys up to speed?
Well, I've always been a bullpen guy or a reliever or a closer and whatnot, and then I kind of realized if I don't step up and become a starter, then we're not going to have anyone to get us to that relief spot to where we need Ryan Walker or where we need guys like that. But if we don't start the game out good, then we can't get to those guys and win ball games. So I decided, like, I'm going to need to figure it out eventually. So I started starting, and I've gotten to this point, and I'm enjoying it. So.
When did you start starting pitching?
I started a couple non-league games when I was a freshman and sophomore, and then started a couple late sophomore year, I think. It never really panned out, and then I did long relief, and I've done everything. Done everything in my 4 years here. So.
What's the transition being just going from being kind of doing different things to being a full-time starter?
Oh, you really have to pitch to contact. That's like the main difference. I wasn't used to that being a reliever, and I used to try to pitch around guys and strike them out, but now I realize you kind of just have to go right after them, and that's how I got a lot of early outs and early swings at pitches. So.
You know, maybe going back to high school, little league, whatever. When did you kind of know that you wanted to be a pitcher for baseball?
I really didn't. I didn't like pitching at first. I enjoyed the outfield and I loved hitting, but when I got recruited here, they were like, "No, you're a left-handed pitcher." So I stuck with it, and it's paid off. So.
Were there any defensive plays that stood out or big moments throughout that no-hitter that kind of first pop into your mind?
Oh yeah, in the first half of the game, Justin Hare made a beautiful play where he ran into the wall and stole a hit from Ryan Nelson. And later in the game, Derek Chapman, one of my best friends in the world, gets to pinch hit and then come in for the last inning in left field and makes a sweet diving play to start the bottom of the ninth. And that made the whole game for me. I picked him up after we had the group huddle and put him on my shoulder, and I was super excited for him because it meant a lot.